Hey, how's it going? Kenny here, and welcome back to another tactic testing video. And up in today's video, I'll be testing the tactic 4-2-2-2 Paladin. And the three teams I've selected to test the tactic with are Man City, Leicester and Southampton. So a bit of an introduction to the tactic is, well, the thing that appealed me towards the tactic was the fact they're not playing with any wingers, as you can see here. And also, it's very, very interesting out of possession here. You've got much lower defensive line, which you don't ever see, really. And a high press in there as well. So interesting to see how that'll work out. Wouldn't there be too much space between the defence and the attack? I'm not sure how it's going to work out, to be honest. It's also got a balanced mentality here as well. Underlap left and right. So predominantly, as you can see from the tactic, most of the work, or pretty much all of the work, will be done through the middle of the park. Obviously not all of the work. Some things will happen down the wings as well, of course. But a very, very narrow formation. No wingers to talk of. Much lower defensive line. How will it work out with the three teams? Well, Man City, pretty much any tactic's going to do something successful, you should imagine. But success for Man City, we're talking you have to win the league. You have to win the league in Man City. Otherwise, it's not successful at all. So interesting to see how Man City would get on. Of course, they've got some great wide players, but also you take out the wide players in the team, it still looks absolutely ridiculous. So without further ado, I'm going to test out Man City first of all. I'm going to go on holiday, select use current match tactics, and let's see how they get on. Well, unfortunately, Man City did not do that great, to be honest. They finished second in the league, so it's not an absolute disaster, but 85 points, as I just said in the intro there. If we don't win the league in Man City, then it can't be a success. Second in the league behind Liverpool, so that is not great at all, really. 10 points clear Man United in third place, and also 24 points clear of Wolves in fifth place, so firmly in the top four places there, but that's not really what you should be looking for with Man City, to be honest. Also, the Champions League was absolutely disgraceful. Knocked out in the round of 16 by AC Milan. Horrendous, absolutely horrendous. They did win a bit of silverware though. They won the FA Cup, which is nice, but you expect a bit more than that with Man City. Carabao Cup knocked down in the semi-final by Liverpool, and the Community Shield, they won that as well against Liverpool. If you're wondering how I wasn't sacked, that is because I make myself unsackable for the sake of the video here. So definitely would have been sacked at this point. I'm pretty sure. Well, I might have been sacked beforehand. But look at that horrendous start to the season. Look at that. They were fourth for a long old time. Finally started to do something towards the end of the season. Looked like it's a little bit too late though. But yeah, once you got knocked out of the Champions League, I'm 100% sure I would have been sacked because that would not be acceptable. Man City's hierarchy, not to tell you the truth. FA Cup win and a Community Shield win is not enough to keep you in a job with Man City, that is for sure. At least they won silverware though, that is something. Let's check out the league table in full here. Also, I forgot to mention that I did not create this tactic. As I always say, I am not the creator of these tactics. If you're interested in checking out the tactic in full, then there's a link down in the description below, which will take you to the page there. So, Man City, they lost only 5 games throughout the entire season, so not terrible. Lost at home to Brighton 1-0, lost away to Tottenham 4-2, Arsenal 1-0, Liverpool and Fulham 3-0 as well. 85 goals scored, which is pretty good, but for Man City, you expect a little bit better, I'd say. 10 of those were scored against Nottingham Forest. And 36 goals conceded, which is not great. It's better than one every game, of course. But for Man City, you expect a little bit less goals conceded, to be honest. So, yeah, not great. They lost 2 of the last 5 games as well. If they'd have won those games, they'd have finished 2 points behind Liverpool. So it might have been tighter than it should have been towards the end there. But Liverpool deserved the title, it seems. And Man City, underwhelming. Just checking the results out here, they actually beat local rivals, fierce rivals, Man United in the FA Cup final 2-0, which of course would have been nice for them. Beat Norwich in the FA Cup semi-final, Leicester in the quarter-final as well, and Brentford in the 5th round. So they didn't have the hardest of run-ins, has to be said, but they did get past Man United in the final there to win the FA Cup, which is something I guess you could say. Champions League, as I said, knocked out by AC Milan on penalties as well. They drew 1-1 away to AC Milan in the round of 16 first leg. Although it's not perfect, you'd certainly take that. You'd say a comfortable win at home, but they failed to beat Milan at home. They drew 1-1 at home, and then they lost in the penalty shootout. Phil Foden missing the crucial penalty there. Also against Liverpool, edged out closely in their Carabao Cup. So, you know, a few results here and there going Man City's way. Can we talk about a whole different season? But unfortunately, it did not. Let's check out the players then. Probably not going to be too surprised who is top of the average rating there. Who else but Erling Haaland? 58 goals in 55 games and 9 assists, which of course is sensational. But we're talking about a god here, a person who's not human when it comes to finishing goals. So not as great as it could be. I've seen a tactic with him getting 84 goals in the past. So 58 and 55, although it looks sensational, it's pretty much just normal for him, to be honest. It's not out of the ordinary at all. Kevin De Bruyne is an unhappy man because they failed to win the Premier League. He only got 6 goals all season, but he got 31 assists. 31 assists in the season for De Bruyne. Bernardo Silva, 21 assists as well, 5 goals. Kyle Walker had quite a decent season apparently. Rodri with 10 goals, 5 assists. But the standout players by quite a distance are Erling Haaland with 58 goals and De Bruyne with 31 assists. So Man City, it wasn't the greatest tactic, it has to be said. It also wasn't the worst, I'd say, as well. They did manage to win 2 trophies, albeit the FA Cup and the Community Shield, but they did win 2 trophies. How will it work, though, for a team like Leicester? Well, let's find out. Well, Leicester are a team who, of course, have had great success in the last recent years. Won the Premier League, they also won the FA Cup, missed out on the Champions League, top 4 finish in the Premier League, shall I say, by the last game, I think it was, a couple of points, 2 seasons in a row, I think it was. This season, they're really struggling, though, and although they look too good to go down, they could potentially get relegated from the Premier League. So it's a little bit of a disaster at the club currently. But they've got a great squad, especially for managers standards. You know, the likes of Maddison, who I don't think will be at Leicester for much longer after this season, to be honest. Tielemans as well, he definitely won't be. Jamie Vardy, of course. Iheanacho, Harvey Barnes. They've got quite a good centre-back in Johnny Evans as well. Also in Leicester, I think they've got great squad depth, to be honest. If one player gets injured, apart from Maddison, you'd say, you've got someone in there to come in and replace them. So hopefully Leicester can do well in that regard. What a success for Leicester, though. Well, I think a top 7 finish would be quite good. Although they finished 5th place the last couple of seasons, I think it is. Before last season, I think. And won the Premier League back in 2016. That is unrealistic. But they can get a top 7 finish, qualify for European football. I think that'll be successful. Before we get started with the results for Leicester, guys, please remember that if you like the video, hit that like button for me. It's really important for the video to get seen by more people. And also, if you're new around here, do consider hitting that subscribe button as well. It really helped me out and you much appreciate as well. So let's get started with Leicester's results then. Where they finished in the league? They finished 6th in the league, so I asked for top 7. They gave me top 7, which is nice. 8 points off Aston Villa, of all teams, in 4th place there. 4 points off Newcastle in 5th as well. They finished above the likes of Tottenham and Arsenal and even Chelsea down in 12th place. So it looks like a strange old season, to tell you the truth. Just for example there, Wolves finished 5th in the Man City simulation there. This time around they finished bottom of the league. So it's a strange one. But Leicester 6th in the league, 18 wins, almost 1 in 2. Almost a 50% win ratio, 7 draws and 13 losses. Did pretty well. I think that was a quite successful season, to tell you the truth. The FA Cup knocked down the 5th round with Middlesbrough. That's nothing to shout about. And the Carabao Cup knocked down the 4th round by Chelsea. So nothing sensational for Leicester there, but definitely a lot better than what they do in real life currently. And you definitely take it at the start of the season. Back in European football, Europa League football, 6th place, something to build on for the next season. And it looks like the tactic does work to some sort of extent for Leicester, which is great. They actually had a poor into the season as well, you see there. They lost 3 and drew 1 of the final 4 games. So without those poor results, they could have finished in the Champions League places. So could have been a whole lot better for Leicester. But 6th place, I'll certainly take that. That certainly seems quite good to me. Let's check out the league table in full here. Yeah, 18 wins, as I said, 7 draws, 13 losses. 61 goals conceded, so not sensational. Goals scored, 50 goals conceded as well. So a bit on the high side there. Plus 11 goal difference, 61 points. You certainly got to take that. Well, in terms of the average rating, no one has really stood out too much for Leicester, apart from Patson Daka. He got 22 goals in 41 games, so over 1 in 2, which is great, and 8 assists as well. He did really well. Jamie Vardy only started 10 matches all season, but he scored 10 goals. Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall as well. He had a really good season, it seems. 4 goals and 9 assists. James Maddison only played 21 games as well. Did he get an injury? He must have got an injury, surely. Well, 3 serious injuries for Maddison in the season, so it could have been a whole lot better if Maddison would have stayed fit. Broke his toe, got a hip injury, and he broke his ribs as well. So, injury-blighted season with James Maddison there. Dennis Pratt did well as well, though. 5 goals and 10 assists. But other than those 5, no one else in the green rating there. And only one who stood out was Daka. It seems like Vardy, when he played as well, was really impressive. So, going forward was great. The rest of the team, it seems like it was just a collective performance from the players this season, to be honest. No one really stood out apart from Daka, but they finished 6th in the league, so that is great. Anyway, let's check out the final team in the video here. Let's check out Southampton. Well, Southampton are an interesting one. I think they get relegated in real life, to be honest. They look like they get relegated. But in my opinion, looking at the squad, they got quite good squad depth in most positions. I just feel like they need some more standout players, to be honest. Probably could do a better striker, that is for sure. Che Adams, is he a Premier League striker? Debatable. On Watcher, on the other hand, though, 6'7", 20 jumping reach. Hopefully he can bang some headed goals and that would be nice. James Ward-Prowse as well. What a threat he is. 20 free kicks and 20 corners. Absolutely ridiculous. Also, the fact that he's got 20 stamina, 20 natural fitness, and 19 work rate stand out as well. So he's a great player to have for Southampton, Ward-Prowse. But Other than really Ward-Prowse, no one really stands out at the club as a key player for Southampton, so it's paramount that Ward-Prowse has a great season, hopefully. Southampton, what is success for Southampton? Well, I know they're battling relegation in real life, but can they squeeze a top half finish in there or a high mid-table finish? I think that'd be quite good. So without further ado, I'm going to go on a holiday, use current match tactics. Let's see how Southampton get on. Well, to be honest with you, I think Southampton have had a really successful season. They finished 11th in the league, which is a whole lot better than what we're doing in real life. 51 points as well. Only finished out of the top half by a goal difference, and only 9 points off Chelsea in 6th place there. So had a really good season, Southampton. 15 goals scored, 15 wins, sorry. 12 points to go to relegation zone. It's not a mile away from the relegation zone. You look at their league positions here. Look at this, by the way. They're actually bottom of the league at one point. It does not look like it was going too well. Then had a massive jump in fortunes here and rose all the way up to 7th place. Had a great period there, it seems. It seems like before the World Cup, Southampton were one of the favourites to go down, to be honest. But after the World Cup, they look like they might have a little bit of a chance to finish in the European places. So a strange season for Southampton then. Also, they did quite well in the Cups as well. They got to the quarter-final of the FA Cup when they got knocked out by Man City, And the Carabao Cup, they got knocked down in the semi-final by Arsenal. So, two big clubs knocked them out in these cup competitions. And, really, really successful season for Southampton. I'm quite surprised here. And 51 points, they would certainly take that at the start of the season. Let's check out the league table in full here. 56 goals scored for Southampton is quite good, I'd say. But 66 conceded is a bit on the high side, to tell you the truth. Second worst defence in the league, but as I said, I don't think they really care too much about that. 11th in the league. Certainly something to build on for Southampton. They're really, really good. I need to see this period of form for Southampton here. Yeah, look, it's round here, look. Yeah, it seems after the World Cup, they really did rejuvenate. They lost away to Arsenal 3-0. Well, they had a couple of games, actually, before then. But then this period here was sensational for Southampton. They actually won 7 league games in a row in this period here. So that is quite crazy for a club like them, to be honest. Beating Man United 1-0 away from home stands out as well. They also got through the Carabao Cup quarter-final in this period as well. Got through the FA Cup in this period. Got narrowly knocked out by Arsenal in the Carabao Cup semi-final as well. So they could have got through to a final. But Southampton did really, really well. 11th in the league. And 2 good cup runs as well. Let's check out the squad then. Who was the best player of the season? Well, I was not expecting that. Nowhere near expecting that. The best player of the season was Joe Aribo. Who would have predicted that? 43 games, 14 goals and 7 assists. So he had a really good season. He's unhappy though. What's he unhappy about? Wants a new deal due to good form. 60. What's he moaning about? 60k a week. How can you moan about earning 60k a week? Disgraceful, isn't it? But yeah, he had a really good season. 14 goals and 7 assists. Che Adams as well. He got 19 goals and 11 assists. I guess he's a Premier League striker after all. James Ward-Prowse with 5 goals and 11 assists. And Orsic, a new signing, with 19 goals and 8 assists as well. So these 4 really did stand out for the season, that is for sure. Livramento only started 1 game all season. He does start off with damaged cruciate ligaments. Adam Armstrong with 6 goals and 4 assists off the bench primarily as well. But you take out the equation, these 4 here, because they didn't really play too many games. The top 4 players here, Aribo, Adams, Ward-Prowse and Orsic, were the only 4 standout players of the season, but they did all do very, very well. Great season for Southampton, to be honest. 11th in the league, 2 good cup runs. Leicester did quite well as well, to be honest. 6th in the league. Man City didn't impress too much, 2nd in the league, but all in all, I'd say this tactic was successful, to be honest. Southampton and Leicester did pretty well. I wouldn't say it's blown my mind, this tactic, but certainly something to build on. And playing with a much lower defensive line and high press does seem to work a little bit. Anyway, guys, that is the end of this video. Please remember that if you do like the video, hit that like button for me. And also, as I said, if you're new around here, do consider hitting that subscribe button as well. It'd really help me out and it's much appreciated. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.